What actually happened to Rocks on God Valley? It was plain as day for everyone to see. So wasn't it obvious? Or was it? Wait a minute. Spoilers ahead. If you haven't been reading Elbaf, then you might want to scroll on. This commenter asked if I can clarify what happened to Rocks. As they say in this comment, the methods that Emu uses to Domi Reversi Rocks is a little bit different than what we saw on Elbaf. The short answer is, Rocks got Domi Reversi. But this does add some potential implications for the way Emu uses this ability. So let's go over it. On Elbaf, we see Emu using this magic circle to conjure up the spell. And then with the flick of the wrist, you actually see Bragi flip. And like this commenter pointed out, it's a little bit different for Rocks. One thing I would like to note, in this moment, Emu is taking over Saturn. And of course, on Elbaf, Emu is actively taking over Gunko. So either way, this seems to be an ability that Emu does not have to be personally present for. They just need to be actively controlling that Holy Knight or Elder. But we see Emu stab Rocks with these two tentacle-like arms. And Rocks even mentions that it doesn't hurt. And then we hear Emu say, Domi Reversi. Now, it doesn't work immediately. Rocks does begin to change, but he's able to resist it to some degree. More so than we've seen from anybody else at this point in the story. He resists enough to be able to give a monologue to Emu, straight up triggering them. But ultimately, once Rocks starts to give in, we see his character get inverted. And then once he's fully transformed, again, we see him upside down, and then he comes down to the ground to fight Whitebeard and the rest of them. So ultimately, we see that Emu does have to physically flip you. And my only real guess for the reason they're using these tentacles is to physically do it since he's floating in air. There could be a stipulation to the extent of Emu's magic. Maybe those pentagrams can't appear in mid-air, maybe they need solid ground. That's a reach, we really don't know that for a fact. But I do appreciate we never see a magic grimoire, we never see any summoning circles or pentagrams, we just see them impale Rocks and ultimately flip him. I think it's also fair to make the argument that much of this happened high in the sky, so even though we do get a few zoomed in moments, I think it'd be fair to argue that maybe the pentagrams did appear, we just never saw them. Oda didn't feel it necessary to draw them. But another potential I got from this is that Emu may have to physically touch the first person they want to flip. On Elbaf, Emu did come into physical contact with Bragi, so that could be a potential stipulation for this ability, but also I think that may be a bit of a reach. And since we're talking about Domi Reversi, the only other main theory there is for it is that it only works in the homeland. Since we've seen Rocks, who is from God Valley, get flipped on God Valley, Bragi obviously gets flipped on Elbaf, and also other Davy Clan members on God Valley like Rocks' parents. But I'm sure more of this will be confirmed in the near future. So that's about all I've got on Domi Reversi for right now, and I hope that clears some things up. What's your favorite theory about Domi Reversi? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to join the community, check that out right there. We've got anime reactions here and 4 live streams a week.